How exciting was Xiao Yan's first stop to the ancient tribe. Ling Quan, the commander of the Black Annihilation Army, was almost kicked to death by Xiao Yan. After Yao Lao was successfully resurrected, his strength soared directly to the semi-holy realm. Soon, he received an invitation from the ancient tribe to participate in their adult ceremony. Yao Lao readily agreed to this, and decided to send Xiao Yan as a representative to the ancient holy city to make an appointment. Xingxiao Pavilion is quite far away from the ancient holy city. Even at the speed of Xiao Yan and others, coupled with the shuttle of space wormholes, it will take nearly half a month. In the face of such a situation, Xiao Yan and others had to hurry up. After all, it was less than a month since they went to the ancient tribe to participate in the so-called adult ceremony. If they went too late, I am afraid they would have to miss this rare prosperity. On the blue sky, a huge black shadow swept past like lightning, bringing gusts of breeze along the way, spreading like ripples. Holding a map in his hand, Xiao Yixin said to Xiao Yan in front of him, "At our current speed, we will be able to reach the ancient holy city in 5 days." Hearing the sound, Xiao Yan nodded slightly. The name of this city is extremely loud, even surpassing the Sundance city in Danyu, because it is the entrance to the ancient world. Immediately afterwards, his gaze turned to Qinglin and asked, "It's nothing unusual, is it?" Qinglin shook his head and said, "Within 100 miles, there is no room for fluctuations. We walked very suddenly. It is not easy for the soul hall to follow us." In her pair of beautiful eyes, 3 small black spots slowly rotate, and any energy fluctuations within a radius of 100 miles will be incorporated into her eyes. After Qinglin sat down, it was quite difficult for the people in the soul hall to take Xiao Yan and the others by surprise again. Hearing this, Xiao Yan chuckled and said, "If that's the case, then speed up." As the words fell, I saw the spaceship storming out like a meteor, and disappeared at the end of the sky in the blink of an eye. Time is like quicksand, and 5 days have passed in a blink of an eye. A huge looming city finally appeared in the vision of Xiao Yan and others. When they first saw this city, Xiao Yan and the others couldn't help being a little stunned, because this city was not as domineering as imagined, but gave people a feeling of simple vicissitudes of life. As they got closer, everyone discovered that the city was wrapped in a transparent mask. Although this mask seemed weak, it exuded a kind of coercion from the depths of the soul, causing everyone to change color slightly. His Holiness Jianhua whispered, "This ancient holy city is said to have been built by the powerful fighting emperor of the ancient race, and the mask contains a trace of fighting emperor power." Xiao Yan heard the sound, and then suddenly, no wonder. As he got closer and closer, he could feel the pressure in his soul getting stronger and stronger. Seeing Xiao Yan's reaction, His Holiness Jianhua smiled and said, "In order to show respect for the powerful fighting emperor, flying is prohibited within a radius of 1,000 feet of the ancient holy city. Let's go on foot." After speaking, he took the lead and fell to the ground, and Xiao Yan and the others quickly followed. After the group landed, their speed did not decrease at all, turning into vague figures, galloping towards the ancient city. When they were about to reach the gate of the ancient holy city, Xiao Yan and the others slowly paused. "This ancient holy city is not free to enter. If you are not invited by the ancient tribe, ordinary people are generally prohibited from entering." Xiao Yan and his party walked slowly along the line, and after a long time, they finally came to the gate of the city. That I saw on both sides of the city gate, there were nearly 100 figures dressed in black armor, standing upright with long spears in their hands, their sharp and cold eyes constantly flashing around, and a powerful aura was intertwined. His gaze slowly swept past these figures, but at a certain moment, Xiao Yan's gaze suddenly stopped on a familiar figure, and his eyes narrowed slightly. Ling Quan. At the entrance of the city gate, a figure stood still. This person was Ling Quan, the commander of the Black Annihilation Army who had clashed with Xiao Yan several times. Unexpectedly, Xiao Yan ran into him just after arriving in the ancient holy city. It was really a narrow enemy. When Xiao Yan looked at Ling Quan, Ling Xuan's sharp gaze also shifted, looking at the familiar thin figure, but his expression suddenly became gloomy. "Xiao Yan, who allowed you to come here?" Ling Xuan's cold cry naturally attracted the attention of many melon-eating people. He glanced around, and finally paused on Xiao Yan in surprise. The latter's victory of the Danhui Championship has long been rumored in Zhongzhou, but looking at the situation in front of him, it seems that the champion of the Danhui has a deep grievance with the young leader of the ancient clan. Feeling the gaze cast from all sides, Xiao Yan's face was still so calm, and with a flick of his finger, a jade card shot towards Ling Quan like lightning. Feeling the fierce wind, the latter's complexion sank slightly, his palm was full of vindictiveness, and then he suddenly leaned out and grabbed the jade brand extremely accurately in his hand. It was just that the palm of his hand had just touched the jade brand, and an extremely terrifying temperature suddenly filled out from the jade brand, roasting his palm with a rich white smoke. The severe pain in the palm of his hand made Ling Quan show an extremely painful expression, but he was also not an ordinary person, so he gritted his teeth and chose to hold it down. With a tight grip of the palm of your hand, the information in the jade brand is included in your mind. It turned out to be Xingxiao Pavilion. How could such a powerful force receive an invitation post from my ancient clan? Ling Xuan's sneer was obviously disdainful. In his opinion, according to the strength of Xingxiang, he was not qualified to accept the invitation at all. It's a pity that what he didn't know was that after Yao Lao successfully entered the semi-holy level, the current Xingxiao Pavilion had already jumped out of the list of the 4 pavilions. Regarding Ling Xuan's defiant ridicule, Xiao Yan's expression was still ancient and calm, and he said lightly, "It is clearly written in black and white. If you don't know it, then ask the people of your ancient tribe, return the jade brand." Xiao Yan's tone directly tickled Ling Xuan's qi to his teeth, and he held a piece of the jade brand in his palm, and said coldly, "Come here, take it." However, as soon as Ling Xuan's voice fell, he suddenly felt a flower in front of him, and the jade brand clenched in his palm came out in an instant. When he recovered, he found that the jade brand had appeared in Xiao Yan's hands at some unknown time. This change was like a loud slap on Ling Xuan's face, making his livid face flushed. Ling Quan, who was annoyed and ashamed, also forgot his current identity, roared out angrily, raised his palm and patted Xiao Yan angrily. It's just that the fist is dancing, and before it blows out, a shadow of a leg actually appears directly in front of him. As the terrifying energy poured out, Ling Xuan's figure flew out in an instant, and finally hit the city wall heavily, falling down from the city wall. Ling Quan gushed out of a mouthful of blood, his face full of disbelief and horror. When he met at Ye's house, his strength was still 1 star higher than Xiao Yan. Although he was still unable to fight Xiao Yan at that time, he could at least fight him head-on, but now, even the opponent's actions are imperceptible, and they have been completely defeated. This extreme change made him feel the urge to vomit blood. When he was arrogant by nature, back then, he was regarded as an ant-like kid in the inner courtyard, but in just a few years, he completely stood on top of him. At this moment, Xiao Yan on the other side played the jade card in his hand, put it in the ring, glanced at the horrified Ling Quan, smiled and said, "Commander Ling Quan, I'm sorry, it's a bit heavier, but next time, I would like to trouble you not to do such stupid things again. After all, there are not many soft-handed people like me." Looking at the smile on Xiao Yan's face, Ling Xuan's eyes were also blood-red with anger, and he turned his head to the guard behind him and shouted angrily, "The Black Annihilation Team, I captured him." As soon as the roar fell, nearly 100 ancient warriors in black armor at the gate of the city did not hesitate at all. With a sudden shock of the spear in their hands, they aimed at Xiao Yan. Seeing many Black Annihilation Army soldiers pointing their spears at Xiao Yan, the little Dr. Fairy and others on the side also changed their expressions slightly, and their figures appeared beside Xiao Yan in a flash, and a vast amount of vindictiveness surged out. Under these confrontations between the two sides, the atmosphere at the gate of the city suddenly became tense. The onlookers looked at Xiao Yan and the others with interest, obviously surprised that they dared to attack the people of the ancient tribe in the ancient holy city. Xiao Yan's face sank slightly, and he sneered, "Ling Quan, as the commander of the Black Annihilation Army, do you want to avenge yourself?" This jade sticker was issued by the ancient clan. "Since we hold it, we are the guests of the ancient clan. In your position, I am afraid you are not qualified to capture me, right?" Hearing this, Ling Quan paused slightly, and just about to let out a sharp shout, but suddenly came out from the city wall, "Ling Quan, what are you doing?" Immediately, a figure flew down like lightning, and fell heavily in front of the city gate like a tower. Seeing the visitor, Ling Quan couldn't help but change her face slightly. After wiping the blood from the corner of her mouth, she said lightly, it's okay. Hearing this, the figure frowned and turned his gaze towards Xiao Yan and the others. With this, Xiao Yan had just seen this person clearly, like Ling Quan. He was also dressed in a set of shiny and clear armor, but from the point of view of his aura, he was much stronger than Ling Quan. According to Xiao Yan's induction, he should be a strong man with the power to reach the 3-star Dozuan. After seeing this man, the Black Annihilation Army soldiers quickly bowed and shouted, "I have seen the 5 commanders." One of them quickly said what happened before. When he heard the name, Xiao Yan, the 5th commander was startled. "Are you Xiao Yan?" Then he frowned and looked at the former, with a faint trace of hostility in his eyes. Xiao Yan's face was calm, and he arched his hand to the 5-in chief in front of him and said, "Xingfei Pavilion, Xiao Yan." Ling Quan sneered, "Yes, he is the Xiao Yan in the lady's mouth. Do you still want him to go in now?" Hearing this, Xiao Yan frowned slightly. It seems that his name has been known to many people in the ancient clan. I am afraid that most of the reason for this is because of Suner. The 5th commander was silent for a while, glanced at Xiao Yan with complicated eyes, then turned his head and glared at Ling Quan. "Do you have a brain? He holds a jade sticker, and he is the guest of my ancient clan banquet. Like you, do you want others to laugh at my ancient clan for not understanding etiquette?" Being angrily scolded by the 5 commanders, Ling Xuan's expression also became extremely ugly, but due to the status of the other party, he didn't dare to say anything, so he had to retreat with a cold snort. After drinking the Ling Quan, the 5 commanders hugged Xiao Yan with their fists and said solemnly, "Your Excellency Xiao Yan, please stay in the ancient holy city for a few days. Then someone will pick you up to the ancient world." Xiao Yan nodded slightly when he heard the sound. Although the 5 leaders were also hostile to him, they were clearly public and private, far better than Now Ling Quan. What makes Xiao Yan puzzled is that he obviously saw this person for the first time. Where did the hostility of the other party come from? Is it really because of Suner? Xiao Yan secretly smiled bitterly. As the saying goes, beauty is a disaster. This is indeed true. What's more, Suner is still at the level of harming the country and the people. It seems that this trip to the ancient world will not be smooth sailing.